So there's a law in this state, and it says when the government takes too much of your money, they have to give it back. I'm not happy today, guys, okay? Just a warning here. And right now, there is a group of senators that are moving forward to erase that law before you even get a chance to vote on making it stronger come this November. I'm not making this up. This is what is happening in Massachusetts. And the rules here, they're pretty simple. If the state collected taxes faster than your paycheck grows, that extra money doesn't belong to them. Although they think all of our money belongs to them, it ends up coming back to us. It belongs to us. And we end up, in turn, getting that money back. This is Chapter 62F. That's what it's called. It is a 40-year plus voter-approved rule. And unfortunately, for this legislature, it's still on the books. And right now, in the final weeks of a session, if you even want to call it that, pull out the metal chairs for the sessions, okay? There's a group of like rogue senators that are trying to erase it. They're not trying to amend it. They're not trying to fix it. They just want to delete it in its entirety before you get a chance to vote on making it stronger come this November. The way it works is pretty simple. Chapter 62F ends up capping how fast the state's tax haul can grow, and it's tied to how fast wages grow within the Commonwealth itself. So essentially, if Beacon Hill's revenue ends up outpacing your income, that overage ends up coming back to the taxpayer as a refund, if you could believe it. The voters passed this back in 1986. I was 1 year old when this passed. And for 35 plus years, this law has only been triggered twice. Once in 1987 and then again in 2022. And that's when, back in 22, tax collections ended up going through the roof. And what ended up happening is that Chapter 62F, that law ended up kicking in. And then the state was legally forced to hand back somewhere around $3 billion of your money from the people that paid into it. And in my opinion, that right there was the moment the political class in Massachusetts discovered that they hate this law. They hate this law because in 2023, which is the very next year, they decided to do something sneaky. They decided to change the formula. They took it from a system where you got back roughly what you paid in, and what they ended up doing is they flattened it. So everybody got the same flat check back. It's an equity for all, right? Regardless if you were owed more money or not. So they shifted the money away from what I would consider to be a more proportional system based on the amount of money that you pay in, because that ended up giving larger checks to people that were paying more money in. And they tweaked it because of course they did, and they flattened it out across the board. Again, equity for all. But now, guess what? The tweak is not enough. It's not enough for them because there is a ballot question coming this November that would make 62F even stronger. It would change how the cap is calculated. And according to the Center of State Policy Analysis over at Tufts, that change could trigger refunds 3 to 5 times more. And what it would end up doing is, because it's getting triggered more often, it would also trigger more money coming back to you, up to 5 to 15 times more money. So look at it this way, 5 or 15 times more money in your pocket coming back to you more often. This is a problem for Beacon Hill. Put yourself in their shoes for a second here. You've got a law that you already can't stand, and the voters are about to make that law even stronger. So what do they decide to do? They want to repeal the entire underlying law, period. That's what they want to do. They want to do it in this session so that when you walk into the voting booth in November, because remember, this was a ballot question, the thing that you're going to vote on to strengthen, you could vote on it, but it's not even going to exist. It's gone into the ether. It's completely terminated. That's what they want to do. So the question, again, would still be on the ballot as far as I know, but it'd be pointing at a chapter of law that's been wiped off the books. You can't make this stuff up. It is outrageous. Every single time there's an opportunity to either put more money in the taxpayers' pockets or show taxpayers where their money is actually going, this legislature will pull out the pitchforks and the torches. That's the truth. Who are these people really working for? Think about it. If they eliminate Chapter 62F, they're not just trying to beat your vote. They're trying to make your vote pointless before you even cast it. And take it a step further. What else are they willing or are going to do? The reason this even happened, by the way, there was a senator, I don't remember his name, out of Winchester. And I looked at, his notes or whatever they had, right? I don't even care, right? You could do any level of mental gymnastics that you want to do to try to prove that 62F is a bad idea, but I'm not buying it, okay? We're not buying it. The reality here is that the deck is stacked against you. That's what's happening. The deck is stacked against you because the government in Massachusetts is looking at a rule its own people wrote and then is deciding that that rule can't be enforced in Massachusetts anymore, that the people can't be trusted. So whenever it comes down to how our money is being spent or, how transparent or accountable they want to be, they view these things as an existential threat that needs to be managed. I mean, look at it this way. Think about the pattern that we've seen so far this year, okay? The voters in Massachusetts, year after year, day by day, we are the ones that are losing our voice. Voters passed this law in 1986 saying that the overage should come back to the taxpayers, and they ended up diluting it. Excuse me. They ended up diluting it in 2022. Voters passed by a 72+% margin to audit the legislature. What did they do? They lawyered up and they stalled it. Then a tax question comes about on the ballot, and somehow, some way, our nitwit of an attorney general decides to, manipulate it on a technicality, and it gets tossed under the rug. So they are moving to delete a law that we have the opportunity to vote on to make stronger today. This is the series of patterns that is going on here. And listen, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're an independent. I don't care if you're a Republican. This should bother everybody inside of the state. It should bother you because we spent the last couple of years hearing these same people lecture the rest of the country about no kings. No kings. Where are those people today? Nobody's above the law, they say. Power belongs to the people. Do you remember this? Because I sure do. And then when you hand them an actual chance to prove it, with the rule that the people wrote, with the vote that the people are about to cast, they act like they have the damn crown. You see what I'm saying? They decide which votes count and which votes don't, and they quietly erase them before they can even cast them. That's the problem. They audit everyone but themselves. They follow the public records law that everyone else follows except them. So which is it? Because you don't get to march under no kings and then govern like this is the House of Windsor or something like that when the camera is off. That's the damn truth. Do you want to know how this is even possible, how this even came about? It's possible because in a one-party state, there is no one across the aisle big enough with a loud enough voice to actually stop it. There's no real checks and there's no real balances. And moreover, there's no reality checks for this legislature in Massachusetts. When one party runs the House, the Senate, and the governor's office and writes its own rules for what it has to disclose, the only king left to hold them in check is the voter, is us. And the voter right now is exactly the one they are working to sideline. It's exactly the person that they want to disenfranchise first. We are peasants in their dystopian future. And I'm sick of it. I don't know if you guys are sick of this, but I'm sick of being treated like a second-rate citizen in a state that taxes us to oblivion. If they eliminate 62F, as I may have said earlier in this video, I don't know what the hell I said, what's stopping them from doing whatever they want, whenever they want? They have unchecked power. They do. That is the issue inside of Massachusetts. That is the issue when there is one party rule. I don't know what you think, but I'm sick of this, and you should be too.